Many delay or Dharma siblings. Today is a special way to teach and listen the Dharma because today we play His Eminence Gachir Rinpoche's bestowing empowerment on the wet Tara. So then His Eminence Gachir Rinpoche told me to teach Dharma series through online. So I've been teaching that everybody knows for a few years. And then this year I planned to teach on the Vettara sadhana because we all practice Vettara and some of you already received Tara's empowerment, but still maybe you have received Tara's empowerment from His Eminence Gachir Rinpoche many years ago. So if you take empowerment again through online, it will be great. And some of you may be did not receive Tara's empowerment before, but still you practice on Tara's sadhana. So it's receive empowerment is a very important. So that's where today we have this opportunity, and the many people has question or feeling that receive teachings and empowerment and so forth. We will receive in person, from person to person. We will not be able to receive through online. So I personally quite difficult to say you will receive through online, but His Eminence Gachir Rinpoche and many wonderful masters, they bestows empowerment through online and give teachings through online. So I 100% trust that if you take this empowerment and listening teachings through online, you will receive all of the benefit. And actually that is Sambhogakaya's activities. Just a moment ago I spoke with one person. He also shared with me as a great one that one master recite some Amrita mantra, and other person stays behind of mountains, and many crossed between them many rivers and mountains. So physically they have a long distance, but that person has some problem physically. So then this master practice amarta for him, for her, and then she completely recovered. So this is the kind of proof. If you listeners have a faith, and then Guru generate compassion and bodhicitta, then it's definitely receive blessings. It's not related like a distance between mountains or rivers or something like that. And also when Shakyamuni Buddha he gave teaching to his students, and then his attendants, Mangalayana Puttara, and he has a miracle power. So he was wondering, Buddha's vows is really amazing, but he would like to know how far the Buddha's voice can can reach. So that's why first, of course, he is Buddha's attendance, so he always being with Buddha. And then, but there are many sanghas. So Mangalayana Puttara stand up from this teaching, and he went the end of the sanghas and listening to the Buddha's teaching. And still Buddha's voice is same, like he is sits with nearby the Buddha. And then he slowly went far away, like behind the mountains, rivers, and he went very, very far away through his miracle power, but still Buddha's voice is same. So that means, and then slowly he noticed other containers or beings, other containers beings, not only like this human beings, other beings like gods or some other beings. They also listen Buddha's teaching. He understood at that time. Also, Buddha's voice level is same. So that is since at that time there is how to say way to listening Dharma teaching from far away. So the main thing is you will receive empowerment if you're enough by your faith and devotions. If we have not enough in devotions, then it's quite difficult to say we will receive empowerment completely, but still we will receive great blessings. Blessing in Tibetan, Jin Lap. Jin means like a glorious, as gorgeous. Lap means it turned your mind, because the Guru's profound path instructions, profound empowerment, profound blessings, then your body, speech, and mind turned into virtue. So that's where this today's opportunity is a very great one. And then, do we need a Dharma or not in our life? Dharma is necessary because if we have money, power, or other kind of physical powers, these powers helps us in this life, of course. So that's where this I often say that money and job and working, these things are also important. Your life's career are very important. So you don't want to how to say stop to do these things. But at the same time, you need Dharma or not. Uh, uh, Actually, this answer is yes, because one day, right now we heard some place, some people died, and we see some channel ground, cemeteries, and we hear many people died or something like that. Same thing. Finally, our destination is cemetery or channel ground. When our friend or relatives place our body on the channel ground, and our consciousness doesn't stay with our body at that time, cannot stay. And then our consciousness alone travels to different places. At that moment, if we have Dharma in our mind, only Dharma comes with our consciousness. So the light of Dharma or the ray of the Dharma then shows us the path. That's called Dharma wisdom. So wisdom shows us our great destination. That is Pure Land. If we are going to reborn in the Pure Land, then we are going to understand how to go there. So when we will die and we understand, this is death. So now it is time to supplicate Amitabha or the Amitoyo or something like that. And then that understanding, it is time to supplicate Amitabha, this is wisdom. If you understand that, that is wisdom. So wisdom helps you to supplicate Buddha Amitabha. And then your consciousness follows your wisdom. And then you were reborn in the Pure Land. Sukhavati is Pure Land. So if we don't have wisdom, and then when after we died, then of course our consciousness start to travel. So it's very possible our consciousness travels to the hunger ghost realm. That means 24/7 hungry, thirsty, and suffering. And it's possible our consciousness will travel in the hell realm and then 24/7 experience suffering. So that I don't make scary to you, but it's a law of the nature. It's law of nature. For example, if I'm a teacher of the sleep yoga now, right now is almost, here Arizona time is 1:45. So sleep is still there many hours. We are not eat dinner yet. So we are not ready to go to our bed, yeah? But right now I'm talking like your dream. So tonight you will, maybe after 5 hours later or 6 hours later, you will go in your bedroom, and then you will sleep, and then you will have dream. Whether you like it or don't like, you will have that dream. In the dream, if snake bite you, or elephant press on your back, or tigers eat you, everything's true in your dream until you wake up. So that's where right now I say in dream we have different dreams. So that's where it is time to understand our dream. So tonight you sleep and then you understand, oh, this is dream. And then when you understand, oh, this is a dream, it is similarly you are waking up. So that means, for example, last night I have a serious dream, and this morning I think, oh, last night I had a very serious dream, but it's a dream's dream. There's nothing now. So Buddha means like a waking up. Buddha means understanding by our wisdom. We have a Buddha nature means we have a wisdom. Right now, the Buddha nature has different layers, like this mandala, different layers. So right now, we know how to eat, how to talk, how to wear clothes, how to speak. These are also Buddha's activities, your Buddha's activities, because your wisdom works with you. So that's why, for instance, you drive car, so you know which direction. Otherwise, you think you are going to go GBI, but you don't know this direction. Maybe you reached in the Sedona. Then it's totally like opposite, yeah. You waste time, you waste money, you get tired, yeah. And then maybe you give up to come back GBI, something like that. So you know your direction. That is your wisdom. And then when you you drive your car, then you understand all the speed limit. So cops cannot punish you. That is also your Buddha helps you. And then you, when you coming on the way, if there's a dirt road, so you drive slowly. There's a paved road, so you drive a little fast. So you understand. So that's where you safely arrived. You safely arrived. Your car is okay. Your car's tires are okay. Everything okay. So these are first layer of Buddha's action in with your mind. And then second, you start to listen these teachings, whether my teachings is good or bad, but you listening Dharma. I'm talking Dharma. So through this way, slowly you waking up. Oh, there's something, you know. There's true nature, and then you step by step waking up like early morning, you know. And then eventually, like a sun shines, so you understand completely. So that means you completely became enlightened. So, for that reasons, Dharma is really necessary in our life. Dharma is very necessary. So, as we have tonight, so we all our final destination is death, die, whether we like it or not. So, for example, after 100 years, today we count. Today is 2025, and then after 2025, our names are probably disappear in this world. So sometimes it's really kind of what we do and what will happen is totally paradox, you know, opposite. We, if we become, okay, so if our life becomes longer and longer and longer, then if we prepared to stay more, we prepare to stay, that is good. But still, of course, we try to prepare to stay in this world. That is also a good thing. But at the same time, practice Dharma, you know. Practice Dharma. And then, so that means one action accomplished two results. Preparing to stay in this world, that's a good one. At the same time, we practice Dharma. That means preparing for the sake of next life. Which means next life is actually not so bad if we do good thing right now. If we don't do good thing right now, next life is a very dangerous destination. If we do good things, next life is better than this life. Really. Because this life, sometimes we have some problems, yeah? Sometimes family issue, sometimes personal issue, sometimes our thought problem, sometimes a physical problem, and so forth. But if we practice well Dharma, and then next life we will become enlightened. We become Buddha. So many beings already became Buddha. In their life, there are lots of problems. For example, Milarepa. Milarepa's life was full of suffering. I mean, first, until he was about 35 some years old, he got lots of problems. He has problems with his family, his relatives, that you know, yeah? And then, but eventually he completely freed from that problem. So this is the proof. Milarepa always sing a song in the mountainside. If we go there, what else? Seems he has lots of things in the first cave. He keep the fridge. Second, cave he has some blankets and everything. Third cave, maybe he has luxury things like jewels, gems, everything. And the fourth cave, maybe he has like a what is called is or everything he keeps something like that. But seems he is almost stay in a kingdom. We feel like that because his song, he always sing a song. He always do like that. That means he sing a song. He sing songs. So, but in the relative level, if we researched, we go to his cave, nothing. My clothes uniform is better than his. That means I have more than his uniform. He has only single Dharma robe, white robe, nothing else. And then no food. That's where he ate plants, some green grass. And then, but still his mind is totally happy, enjoy, relax. So he has no enemies in front of him. He has no case to worry about his family in the background, you know. So he is very, very happy. And then whenever he is going to see Marpa, he can. Wow, that's a really amazing one, you know. That means how we devoted in Guru. Guru is my relatives. Guru is same like how to say my hometown, or Guru is the same like my monastery. Not like this, you know. If you have a devotion in your mind, and then Guru is always there. So if your mind becomes clearer and clearer, and then you and Guru becomes closer and closer. So that's where whenever you are going to see your Guru, and then you see it. For instance, Milarepa could see Marpa as his Guru when he needed Guru. Milarepa could see Marpa as his Yidam deity when he needed Yidam deity. Milarepa could see the Guru Marpa as Sangha or Dakinis or Dakas whenever he wants. So this means that our mind power is very unique. Very unique. Right now, where is mind is quite difficult. That it does not mean we don't have mind. Because mind is true nature. So these ordinary perceptions cannot fathom it easily. So if we practice very well, and we will recognize our mind. It's like a candle light itself has light. Likewise, mind itself has luminosity, clarity. So Guru's clarity of mind and our clarity of mind are always same together. So for that reasons, we always need to supplicate Guru, and we always need to devote in Guru. So without devotion, still there are a little bit distance between Guru's mind and our mind. So today, now when we take refuge, not refuge, empowerment, Tara's empowerment from His Eminence Garchi Rinpoche, and then your main, principal thing is you try to arise your devotion, faith in Him. You already have, but still more improves, and then we will listen together. Okay? Okay. Thank you.
samaya samaya
The 5 elements are the 5 taras. So everything, the rain and the clouds and so on, are all tara. So now think that her blessings fall down like raindrops and permeate the entire world, the entire universe and all beings. And Tara's form dissolves into all of them, and then also dissolves into your own crown. And then her nectar blessings enter your crown, just like from snowflakes melting on a lake.
거 동네 주라고 파지로래 이제 집들이 못 가지 센퍼랑 집들이 거는 차도고 요래지 다 곰초고 광토래서 이 문출 공부래서
in the empowerment text, then it says, having received the ways of form empowerment, you are now empowered to visualize the Bhagavati's form. So in other empowerment texts, it also mentions it mentions the result that will be accomplished and so on, but not here. It just says you are empowered to visualize her form. And so that means that not just speaking about a result in the future, but an ongoing process. You have to remember her all the time continuously, not forget about her. And you do that by recognizing that Tara is your mind. Actually, she is your mind. So receiving the empowerment which empowers you to visualize her form or meditate on her form means that now on an ongoing basis, continuously, you should meditate on her.
Dare mama aye jana pune patang goro sowa. Ti songa wang so trong di de ma song ha la wa wa ngo. Ate nga da chogo yo le. Nga de kare di la. Ko ko de 생명 나온 좀 진짜 받았지. 라데 다지 자동지 디지 또 받았다. 자라티니 진짜 차당원도 또 받았다고요. 깨자 미바다시 또 수반은 일랑 참 좋았죠. 대자 똥반이래. 나가 자한테 초박한 요마 빼세다. 자가 집아탑지 다 고리 자가 집아탑 이게 다 소리 들으셔도 잠아줘요. 디들이 다 던지 좀 송하다가 동태에 자동지 디지 또 봐. 다 고래. 대마다 받은 마다 고래.
Having received the mantra speech empowerment, you are now empowered to recite the Bhagavati's mantra. And so now you are empowered to recite Tara's mantra. And so by being empowered to visualize her form, and you visualize her form, that purifies all grasping at appearances. And when you recite her mantra, that purifies the thoughts that kind of clinging thoughts that conflate like the thoughts and like our ideas that conflate ideas and the object. So basically we attribute a meaning to the object, and then it's because of sound that we develop all kinds of thoughts, these concepts in our mind, which then cling to that this is true. And so there's thoughts of attachment and aversion that arise due to sound. For example, when you hear something negative being said, then it feels almost like somebody's like you're hit by a rock or so. So a very intense feeling arises. And actually, when you look at it, it is not actually there. It doesn't really exist. It's completely empty. It just appears that way because you are conflating thoughts with the outer object or the meaning that you hear about. And so that is what needs to be purified. This kind of clinging thoughts that conflate our concepts with the actual object or the outer appearance. So that needs to be purified. And every time you purify clinging to sound, you purify this kind of conflating fixation. And basically, until you have completely purified all these fixations, you have to recite the mantra.
내 동삼지 연답지 동조삼지 왕글외 이제 듭단저저 요원다리들 만만자라 바베겐자홍 이톡 삼지 여왕 톡 땡는 지금 왕오송 강이나 매도는 남그는 제요레스 옛날 같았던 코로나는 요레스 루지들 노아를 좀 코로나는 내 요레스 옛날 띵 코로나는 남도 남을 샘들 박차 요는 이 되게 딱 코로나 요레스 이 가래에는 출발이 루지 샘들 제시 요 말이지 샘들 박차 소샤르는 중에 샘들 박차 빼는 제당도 샤르 제당 초아대들 이 초아대 따르바레 초아대 제들 좀만서 되는데 초아 파비 돌 초아대 마지나 파로를 나 그때 파로를 내가 말이 그래서 또 하고는 되니 샘당 남과다만 남도 좀 봤다 그래서 그 빼만 담지 말고 봐서 될라서 봤더니 너는 샘나 뭔가 박차 샤르면서 박차지 람상 시작과 초르들이 박차들 매봤던 거를 박차들 맞을 봤죠.
So this flower is an example of our mind, because the lotus flower is born, or it arises, it grows from the mud, but it remains pure. And so similarly, we live in samsara. Our bodies dwell anywhere in the 6 realms of samsara, and that is because we have created many karmic imprints in our mind due to the various thoughts appearing. So it is these thoughts that place imprints into the mind, and that's how we keep wandering in samsara. So recognize that as delusion. It is just the body, but the mind transcends birth and death. And what appears is nothing but the manifestation of your own karmic imprint. So for example, when anger arises, when this feeling of anger arises, recognize it as delusion. When this feeling arises, remember Tara instantly. When you remember Tara instantly, then that feeling will disappear. It will go away just like a cloud vanishing in the sky. So the point is that the feeling will not stay. It will go away if you do not hold on to it. So the mind is like space, and the thoughts, those feelings, are like clouds in the sky. And the lotus flower mind is pure, like a lotus arisen or grown from the mud. And so in brief, for this empowerment, what you need to practice, for the mind empowerment, is that whenever a thought appears, this habitual karmic thought appears, immediately, instantly recognize it with clear awareness and let it go. And you practice this until there are no more karmic imprints.
네 하다 가르치아리 네 감이 시작하니 오 세상들랑나 세상랑 이렇게 세 여태 마서 세상하는 거 근데 세상에서 초월을 초월되면 다음에 딱 그게 시합을 때 세상들랑 이게 메타포식도 많이 초월미와 그래 시합들이 유는데 되나 이렇게 박차요요 시도거리 니몽이 시라 민송 그때도 니몽 bakari 쇼치라 때때가 들이 또몽 이다세와 세상 롱다세와 도차왕다세와 아송 니몽도 좀 시아송 거리 되니 랑 센도 센도 담아데 센데 담아지 소 박차만 야들이 창기래 박차 옆에들이 박차를 좀 와서 동료래 내 하거래 따따 내하고야 박차 상고래 상승지 저는 무슨 돈을 직접 조합해 이 박차를 무슨 돈을 양자를 보존한 거지 대표지 좀 마음 받았을 때 박차를 다 감마다 다 깼던 거래 写当弄当写话子，那么你当写话呢？我操，忘当写话送，这他就过的打车啊，去他就这种作用是吧？你写当弄当写话就知道，中我心想想的，就这边写当的用过有的，你们到那写当到的把没事，都是这里写当的，这上就是个对的，那个什么。
So that's an extremely important point. So this wisdom here, this clear awareness of what is it really in a practical way. So, for example, when you get angry, then with awareness or wisdom, you don't look at the object of your anger, but you look at the essence of the anger itself. So you look at the feeling of anger, and that one that looks at the feeling of anger, sees that, oh, there's anger, that one is your wisdom. And so then when you look at the anger, then naturally, slowly, it will just disappear. Just like a fire burning away wood, it will just naturally disappear. And then when this awareness is sustained for a long time, you will not place any further karmic imprints into your mind. And that is when the afflictive emotions then ripen into primordial wisdom. So you practice with whichever of the afflictive emotions is the strongest. So for instance, you awaken from ignorance through sleep, and then desire is related to like a kind of like magnetizing activity, and then anger through like when the anger arises. So when it arises, so then you look at this arising, this wind that appears, and when you recognize it with clear awareness, then you will not place an imprint into your mind, and the mind remains pure. And then that mind is a Buddha. So actually, it could be quite simple. So when you think about those imprints that arise within the mind. So first, you have to recognize it when they arise, when this feeling arises. There's this feeling that arises. And if you place an imprint, if this feeling has placed an imprint in your mind, let's say you get angry at somebody and then this you can't let go, but maybe you forget about it for a time being, but because you didn't really let it go, there still is this imprint in the mind, and the sign of that is that, for example, the next time you see the person, again, that feeling of anger arises. So then you begin to think about what happened in the past, and you think about the future. And so this is how you should, this is how you should see it when, or recognize it when these feelings arise. For example, the anger is now related to is the waking up through the winds, and so actually it is said that of the 5 afflictive emotions, actually anger is the easiest to let go, but also it's the most destructive. It is said of the 5 afflictive emotions, there is no greater evil than anger or hatred. So it's actually the worst.
Sorry, you're the chatting coming, Marie. Painting, indeed, chapati, married, tiki Marie. Similar, never told them, they don't have or check, it's suggestible, that all the rules. The more you thought you are the Malam mission, you took yourself, subway that the Malam, the jet days, don't tell the motor to see us,
So, so hatred or anger is it kind of mixes or kind of becomes absorbed into the wind energy. So that is now when strong anger arises and you recognize it instantly. So what it merges with is your clear awareness, and merging with clear awareness, the anger is already lost. And for desire, we are merging desire with magnetizing. We've said so. What that refers to is the practices that generate the 4 levels of bliss, whereby one recognizes the nature of bliss. So when a strong feeling of bliss arises and you look at its nature, you recognize that that bliss is actually not contingent upon the other person, but it is actually the natural state of the mind when all ordinary thinking has stopped. So at the moment of bliss, all ordinary thoughts have stopped, and that natural state that is thought-free is naturally blissful. And then you recognize that this bliss does not arise because of another person. The other person is more maybe a conducive factor, but it's not the cause. It's the bliss of your own mind. And so therefore, when you realize its nature, therefore you let go of dualistic grasping. You become non-dual. And so that is the introduction of Mahamudra, where you're introduced to the union of bliss and emptiness. And then there is the merging of sleep or ignorance with sleep, and that is connected to the practices of recognizing the luminosity of the dream state and the luminosity of the deep sleep state. So there are these 3 kind of practices of merging or dissolving the 3 afflictive emotions.
something you mong to some ta some ko some di mo ko do cha song xie dang tok le de ta de min song de you mong tok some de ko song tok le bin jo go yo le de ma mi ne you mong tok some le.
So ultimate, these 3 empowerments are the 3 secrets or the 3 vajras, which is the vajra of form is the empty appearance as is the vajra of form, and empty sounds is the vajra of speech, and empty awareness is the vajra of the mind. And the 3 vajras are also related to the purification of body, speech, and mind, or the 3 poisons. So in terms of body, speech, and mind, and the 3 poisons, ignorance is form, desire, attachment is speech, and anger or hatred is the mind. So when the 3 poisons ripen, they ripen into the enlightened body, speech, and mind. In the unripe state, they are the ordinary 3 afflictive emotions.
이 니티 동가를 또 톡도리들 세랑 그 지식을 빠테게 남도 소화되질 누가 심어도 마셔봤더니 쳐다랍들 미들 변을 쳐를 뭐지 소도시는 세는 남도 가에서 조자저로 가래는 세 소화지야데 시합을 쳐 시합들 쳐대 파 소화돼 지서 말하는 이 강자들 밤에 봐 차고 그랬더니 도지스는데 도지 가리 도지 가리 생코랑 도지장 도지장 고방에 데려 받치 조금 말해 데려 생코랑 도지장도 내 두고 요래 내일 조라트로 그 초월 효수티 이 다세도 코알 참고 요래 배치다 동대 도지 엄지 나 동작 동지 동지 니가 요래랑 이리 요래 또 동지 진시 속다 너가 땅에 쫄람 뜻이 장성 라리수는 때 대우살이 직접문제 소화지 와서들이 하고들이 또 토게 되어들이 참아 돌지스만 이리 요래지
So now that is then the experience that arises when you accomplish those three vajras. So for the vajra of form or empty appearances, which is the vajra of form, then when you actualize the vajra of form, then even though you see many different forms, you know that the inner mind, our inner mind, is one and the same. And therefore you will perceive all outer forms of people's bodies as a delusion. Then empty sound, the vajra of speech, is that no matter what you hear, it all is the same. It's like hearing like how to say chirping birds, bird songs. So basically, it doesn't matter what you hear, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant. You will hear it like an echo. Nothing really exists. And so therefore there is no fixation to sound. So when there is no fixation to sound, that's empty sound or the vajra of speech. And then the purpose of these two vajras is to actualize empty awareness, which is the vajra of the mind. And it is realized when you sustain mindfulness, which recognizes all thoughts and all feelings, all these fixations, our beliefs in the true existence of something in our minds, to recognize all of them with mindfulness, and then just letting them come and go like waves on water. In Dzogchen also, it is called, these thoughts disappear just like a picture drawn on water. So that is the empty mind or empty appearances of the mind, the empty thoughts. So whatever feeling arises, for example, when you come into contact with any of the sense objects of form, sound, smell, touch, and so on, and these generate a feeling in you, you should instantly recognize it with mindfulness and then continue on in that state of mindfulness without pursuing that feeling. And then the feeling itself will not cause any harm or affect you in one or the other way. And so then the ultimate meaning of those vajras is that ultimately then when there is no grasping in the mind, your mind becomes vajra. And vajra is like the state of vajradhara. And when the mind is like a vajra, then there will be no obstacles. So then whenever you encounter any outer objects of form, sound, smell, touch, and so on, you will not become carried away by them. If you do become carried away by them, then you will continue to wander in samsara. So these are the three vajras, and of the three vajras, the most important one is the vajra of the mind, empty awareness. And actually, the vajra of form and the vajra of speech are naturally included within the vajra of the mind. And the vajra of the mind mainly is mindfulness for us. It is to sustain mindfulness at all times. As it is said in the 37 practices in verse number 36. In brief, whatever you do, always look at the state of your mind. And looking at your mind, do not cling, do not grasp at a single thing. Recognize instantly every feeling that arises within you. And if you do so, then naturally the mind abides as the vajra of mind, the vajra mind that is empty awareness, wherein the other vajras, all the vajras, are complete.
노지 성근왕이들이 똥 톡도 되지 하자 기체버리 내가 노지 성근 거를 못 줬는데 레이드면은 세사고 요래 책임용을 니는 똥 톡도 되지 나게다 다쳐도 로그 이런 것들 아니 됐다 이지 요들 좋아요 니몽 동네 똑바 째셔야 뭔서 지주 로이 주면요 좋아랑 사이잡고 주거를 줘 그거랑 로지라만 써야 돼 Esto está yo como le vimos na ta yore te ta do de un color bochi so de le de na yore te yang do lo te so ha ko to
Of the three vajras, the most important one is the vajra of mind, of empty awareness. And there is a supplication by Guru Rinpoche, which is called the 7-chapter supplication. It's a very short but very clear supplication. And so Rinpoche just read that to you in the form of a reading, like a transmission. That is one supplication which basically said that I supplicate to my own intrinsic pure awareness that is liberated in the natural state of the Dharmakaya, if I do not, if it does not grasp at whatever thoughts and feelings move or kind of stir the mind. So this is so basically the essence of that prayer. But you can read that yourself. So it's the 7-chapter supplication by Guru Rinpoche. Also, you can read that again and again, and you understand the meaning.
저거랑 사이적 빠시바지 초아지마서도 초아지와데 하고 그 초아지송상 갑들이 하고지 시바지 뜨면 양 권이 또 야나 들이쁘려면 또 봐야지 지람지 그 비도 다 미고 것도 상고 말이 이 여와시바들 빨리 초아지고 총기 되려 거래 총기 시바지고 초 시바지구나 내일 강아지고 말이 들이 이실이 저러고 요래지
So in this application, it mentions this kind of letting the movements of the thought, of the mind, the movements of the mind settle into the natural state. So that means that whatever feeling arises, you instantly must recognize that feeling. And then all you need to do is just stay in the awareness. Just to stay in only that awareness that there is of this feeling. And then just naturally, it will settle in itself on its own. And so what it means is that you don't have to think, no, I need to get rid of it. I need to get rid of that feeling. But just naturally, it is just like the meeting of the awareness meeting with the feeling is just like the meeting of, again, incense with fire. So like instantly, it becomes one. So the awareness itself, the movement itself, which is that feeling, the feeling itself is intrinsic awareness. And so whenever it arises, the one that feels it, the one that experiences the feeling, that awareness is your intrinsic awareness, and all you need to do is continue on in it, just sustain it. Then there is no need to be afraid of anything at all. Then whatever arises becomes transformed into primordial wisdom.
그 다다마다 그 막고선으로 가리 거를 못했어. 첫달 중에 연상 딱 받았는데 내 뒤가 이제 딱 말이 내가 그러면 님고 로버를 쳐발이 됐더 내가 말이지 이제 딱 말이 네 다다 마다는 나와데 저말이지 그 로버 박사님이 그때서 로버 박사리에서 그 내지면들이 첫달 중에 연상 딱 받았는데 서서 연상이 다 타마 닭발이 또 대발랑 저기는 나던 좀 생이 좋았다. 다 생이 이제 내가 잘 생이 니님이가 잘라 이거 로로 참을 참아 답관이 내가 지금 랩서 다 참아 어떤 내가 지금 됐다 세미지 됐다 문이 됐다 마다 발마 지는들이 나한테 좀 생이 좋아왔다 바드 사랑 뭐시 봐라 바드들이랑 생분 내로 돌는데 생도 고대 탑지 탑대요 봐 생그랑 이양 찌양매 봐 그랑 생분들 타와 형대와는 이들이 잡고 요리 요즘 대신들 투지 달리나 아주 좋아서 절로 어떤 거를 뭐지 좀 말이 또 다난 같이 말이 그 탐지에 다난 같이 말이 따뜻한 참아는 코를 중지가 중저저 들으면 개비신 중가래도 용띠 바닥만 타올라 용띠 바닥만 봐도 따들이 이 대선 통지 중 탐지 용띠 탐지 중은 더고요 따라시네 됐다 왜 용띠 중은 돈이지 않은 거 계산을 안 줘라 그러면 용띠 바로 배들이 개비신이 제일 좋은 아야 요 말이 개비신이 중 제대로 통나 대답이 라는 거랑 독들라는 것들이 많고 안 친구 저리 됐다고 하고로 누구 jelly 답발이 사도 갈고서는 까리 딱 왔어 거요 사진 좀 니들 까리 생기는 사진이 있어오네 됐다고 sablo tang trita sana ta jeni just kore
And so what's most important here for us is that so the Vajrayana is a path of a pure view. So a pure view or pure perception is most important. And so we speak much about this is pure, this is impure, this is good and bad, and so on. But so this pure view is also in this supplication by Guru Rinpoche. And so then also in the supplication it says that through a pure view, all the perceptions of outer appearances become purified by your recognizing that on the basis, fundamentally, all appearances, everything that appears and exists, and all beings are pure. And only temporarily, there are all sorts of appearances. These are all temporary delusions. They are not real. Fundamentally, on the basis, everything is pure. And whatever appears as impure is false, is a delusion. It is only the appearance of a temporary karmic imprint. And therefore, when you see it this way, you will not believe in its true existence. And if you do not cling to its true existence, then eventually all outer appearances, everything that manifests, will be seen as completely pure. So then instantly, spontaneously, faith arises. No matter who you encounter, naturally faith and devotion arises. There's this pure view that is already there. So, and this is then what is meant in this prayer, how the mind becomes liberated. So when there is no grasping in the mind becomes liberated. The mind becomes released, or naturally is placed into a state of relaxation and complete ease and great bliss. It's like when you come to the Pure Land, it's like coming to the Pure Land of Dewa Chen. Then you feel like, oh, this is Dewa Chen. You experience everything. This is the Pure Land. This is great bliss. And then there is nothing more that is seen as impure. When there is nothing that you see as impure, the mind is completely liberated. And then you realize the nature of the mind. When you realize the nature of the mind, you realize that it is vast, like space, pervading everything, samsara and nirvana. Everything is pervaded by your mind. And it's all the nature of that mind. And there is nothing else whatsoever that exists. Everything, appearance and existence, is encompassed by this mind. So this is how you will experience reality then, as it all is really your own mind. So this is the meaning of this supplication prayer by Guru Rinpoche. And so what's most important is a pure perception toward the universe and all beings. And so this is what we don't do specifically. We only and always see the faults in everything and everyone. For example, when people meet a spiritual teacher, they look at what is his faults. They try to find their faults. And they are unable to see even just one good quality in them. And so, and even they kind of mixed qualities and faults. So what actually is a good quality, they see it as a fault and so on. It's because they don't know how to view things how they really are. And as a result of that, that is really your own loss in the end. For example, if you criticize a spiritual teacher, it's really your own loss and not the loss of that teacher. The more negativity you see, the more you bring yourself down, and the greater becomes your bondage to samsara. So recognize that and see that actually everything that appears and exists is completely pure. In Dzogchen or also in Mahamudra, it is referred to as the original or primordial purity. Everything is original purity. Or the Buddha himself said, all sentient beings are actually Buddhas. And that is the actual view of the secret mantra of the Vajrayana. So when you see things in a pure way, then you have, for once and for all, actually, established, finally you have established a foundation of Vajrayana practice. So at this point in the empowerment text, we are we're eating a longevity, a long life pill, which is like a blessing pill. And so also actually a blessing pill like that is, a long life pill is like a mani pill or a dutsi, like a blessing pill. So you can take one of those pills, whichever one you have, and it doesn't matter from which lineage. And so this is what we always actually do when we receive an empowerment. And so take one now and then also eat those pills each and every day. And so the people have collect so many different blessing pills, like the money pills or any other pills. And then often, because they're a little selfish, they hold on to those pills and they keep them in their little pouch, and they don't give anything away to anybody else. And sometimes they even give it to me. But all of that's a big mistake. You should give it to others. You shouldn't just hold on to it like that, because the purpose is to spread. That's the purpose of these pills. They should reach everyone, because they are a method to mature, to ripen sentient beings' body, speech, and mind. So don't hold on to them. Don't try to kind of keep them. You have to eat them and you have to pass them on. And when you eat them, you should eat them every day in the morning, and eat them every day continuously. So don't be miserly with your blessings.
때다 밤에 이거를 와서 뭐 렉바 토네 이거 소소게 네 감색이 근데 좀 싸냐 배에 지르고 소리를 또 이렇게 가서라 대답하면 다가 지디 제가 요래 다때 다 송체 담제 수트가 떴고 요마 소소라는 떴고 요마에 다 타고 담색이 하고들이 다 타고 슬랍 자소게 배는 담벨 주고 접시 자타바요네요 저렇게 쳐도 또 먹어도 담벨을 쳐시만 찍어야 돼 저거 찍어야 돼 그런 거 사이에 가리를 찍기 먹을 예당 탐체 되게요 예당 탐체 뛰니 탐책지 봐야 돼 가리야 예당 뛰니 탐책을 랑가 타바가 쏘 걸리지 삼바든 kinh nghiệm 되지 쏴탑지소 쏴지소 산적 셈지 다 산적의 셈주는 septi는 삼신지 제중야 대대 이제 노바타는 랑가 주바고나 sabti 답고 자야 달들이 이제는 삼신지 고나 쏴 탐책 또 대리 상지 초반은 삼신지 septi는 비방 삼신지 랑가 타바 상우는 삼신지리 땡바도 용매 삼신지는 쏴란 초바 차도 그래 septi는 비방 정거리 랑가 타바 토거리 이쪽으로 따로 탐색들이 사축성 삼바다 hin지에 했을 때라 삼바체 비바티 대리 삼바체 비바를 드린지지 알아 이게 참로 그래 그걸 잡아 삼바다가 또 수학적 남이잖아 근데 이런 탐색 탄거요 이 랑게 라강이나 참선을 하다면서 기보잖아 오사투바 인삼 대냥이 시적 기체 모요래 드리처럼 왕족 송지 주로나 말들 다시 들려주이
Lastly, we come to the samaya. So it normally mentions the samaya of body, speech, and mind. And so there is this repetition, this supplication we repeat where we say, I shall do whatever the principal Lord commands, and so on. And so even though that's what we say, actually nobody really does that. Nobody really does everything the principal Lord commands, not even the principal Lord. But so what is the ultimate samaya that we all should keep? That's really most important. And that is the life force of all the deities. 100 deities have a single life force. Or, for example, there might be hundreds of rivers or waters in the world. If you pick up a single drop of water on your finger, you should recognize that this drop of water has the same nature than all the water in the world. So it's just like that. Whatever yidam deity you practice, if you practice one deity well, then you're practicing all the yidam deities. And so regarding the samayana, the samaya is called the life force of your own liberation. And the life force of your own liberation is nothing else but love and compassion. Love and compassion is the life force of the deity. It is that what we call the deity is actually bodhicitta. So the samaya is to sustain love and compassion for all sentient beings. And when others harm you, you should practice patience. You practice patience and you hold on to love. So love and compassion, the samaya is love and compassion for others. And also when you practice love and compassion, you're making offerings to all the Buddhas. So what the greatest offering to all the Buddhas is love and compassion. The greatest benefit to sentient beings is love and compassion. And your own seed of liberation is love and compassion. It's nothing else but just that. So if you have love and compassion, you're practicing the deity, you're offering the deity, you're benefiting sentient beings, and you yourself will attain liberation. So that's the root samaya. It is love and compassion, or it is immeasurable love. If you have immeasurable love, then the other immeasurables will naturally arise from that. Also, it is said that love is the all-pervasive power. The power of love is all-pervasive. And so in this way, with this understanding, you should practice a single deity, knowing that within this one deity, all the Yidam deities are contained. And of course, even though you practice one principal deity, sometimes you practice different deities, and that is fine, but you should always understand that they are all the same. Within this one deity, all the Yidam deities are contained. So that is the samaya of the empowerment, and this also completes the empowerment. Manidashi Telek.
Okay, thank you so much, His Eminence Garchi Rinpoche, and thank you so much all of you for joining. And we all are very fortunate, and because we have profound opportunity. Some get this opportunity suddenly. It's very, because of power of your merit. So it's really amazing. And as His Eminence Garchi Rinpoche said, this money pill, today I shared here and in the Zoom and YouTube, maybe also you have this, so you take it. And then I shared the Dutsi here today, and then if you have a Dutsi also you can take it. And I am going to clarify one thing. I felt that the moment ago when I stayed there. Rinpoche gave empowerments, many empowerments during the COVID-19. So I personally also here, but at that time I get this money pill in Dutsi. Otherwise, I did not go to Rinpoche, try to get a vase here. Because I know the meaning of empowerment. The meaning of empowerment is not always vase, physically put a place here and something like that. The receive empowerment or not is we are going to how to say understand that is very important. What's the meaning of empowerment? The meaning of empowerment means when you number one, okay, today I receive empowerment. You should decisively, if you think that, then you received. So even like a monastic vows, we give a monastic vows, we just do like that. So are you monk or something? Are you nun? We do like that. And they say yes. So at that time, that moment, they become nun and monk. So same like the empowerment, you think, oh, today I received empowerment from His Eminence Garchi Rinpoche. And then you received. Whether you are far from here doesn't matter. So what today received, taking this empowerment through online, and when I was here, it's very similar. I stay same place. At that time, I was stayed there. And also what I got is this money pill from Rinpoche's bag, and then this Amrita. So you all have this money pill. So please you take it. And then another for clarifying that is, it's not I just utilize my own kind of using some artificially some my ideas. So it is also few Dharma friends asked me to teach on the Taras sadhana. And then I still I have this message in my phone. I asked Rinpoche, some students asked me, requested me to teach on Taras sadhana. So it's better to have empowerment is okay, your empowerment play again right before to teach Tara Sadhan. And he said, "Oh, that's a very good. Last night I thought I dreamed. People ask the empowerment, and I was so busy. And there are lots of people also. I was so busy, so it's wonderful." He said, "You do it." So that I received this permission. So and then today the fortunate ones we have been together here and receive this empowerment, and most of this in the Zoom and YouTube. Those are frequently, almost non-stop. They participate. These teachings is really I admired. I deeply rejoice, and then I don't think this Tara Sadhana will take that long. So as much as if you it possible to uh, discuss with Tara sadhana, how to practice, how to visualize, how to meditate, how to remove obstacles, how to accomplish one's wish. Everybody has many wishes. Some need friends, for example. I remember a couple of years ago, some sisters say, I request Rinpoche, oh, I need a baby, but I don't have a baby. Some sisters and brothers, they ask Rinpoche, and then Rinpoche said, recite Tara, and then after 1 year later, and they message through us, and thank you so much, Rinpoche, we have a baby, something like that. These are actually common cities. And someone need to accomplish different wishes. Everybody has some wishes. Someone need to find a very kind of a good Dharma teacher. Someone need to find a new place, good places, and something like that. Someone need to travel safely and something like that. Everybody has a plan, different plans, and so all of these things are related to Tara practice. So if you have empowerment and then you understand vividly how to practice, and then you do, then your wish is become very powerful. So if we don't complete everything, and then suddenly we think, oh, Tara, and then try to receive some accomplished wish, and sometimes it's difficult. And then many people start to doubt, oh, maybe Tara can't help me in some case, or something like that. So Tara really helps, and Ngachir Rinpoche has long stories about Tara that protected him. Even Tara touched on his head. That is in United States. That happened to him. There's no reason to lie or something like that. And so, for example, people who can, my own personal experience is a couple of years ago, I learned how to drive a car. And before, I almost never touched the stairwell or something like that. But then I have these lessons and permissions. At that time, I drive, and then I hold very forcefully the stairwell by my arms. And I drove maybe hour and later, hours and a half later, I really exhausted. And then right now it's pretty better. That means improve, how to drive, how to hold the, and sometimes the turn right and the left, there's I little bit confused still. So I stopped the car in parked car somewhere, and I walk, and I look which car turn right, which way, something like. I really did that. Right now, when I go to Prescott or some area, it's pretty confidently I can drive. It's very. When I help my friends to drive, it's then I have pretty confident. So same like that. Everything, if we understand, and then we can accomplish yidam deities. It's really this. Our gurus, they always say, "I see yidam deities. Yidam deities blessed me in the dream, in the morning, in the evening, in 24/7, something like that." And that means they really not only make efforts, it's not related to only effort, but skill. skill is very important. At the same time, the effort means one day try to push so much forcefully, not like that, and continually like a long rivers. The river flows continually, and eventually it reached in the ocean. Likewise, actually, river come from snow mountains, and eventually it reached in ocean. Likewise, right now we practice with a small mind, but then slowly our mind dissolve into the ocean of Buddha's wisdom, and then we become Buddha. So today we received empowerment. So this is quite the first time to do like that, but still the background is very well, because it's not just a quote, something, oh, long time ago Rinpoche said that, and then many people ask questions. Rinpoche is here in person, and his messages are very fresh, still here in my phone. So that means it's proof. Rinpoche also gave this permission joyfully, and then we have practiced, received this empowerment, and then more discourse on the sadhana of Tara. And discourse means, I try my best to explain on there. And then you have questions, we will do. Today, probably we will discuss on the Rinpoche's empowerment, and or general you have questions, because it will start tomorrow, next week. Commentary will start next week, I think. Because today we have only 2 minutes, and after that we have later discussion time, I think. So you can ask any kind of questions, and it does not mean I can answer every your questions. But what I believe in these few years, through I spend time with my Dharma siblings, is perhaps I sit here to give teachings is not so much profound, to be honest, because I repeat many things again and again. But what I acknowledged is you guys ask me questions, and between you learned a lot. So that's where, this is a great opportunity to create a great opportunity for you, because today you say, I'm going to teach Dharma, maybe the other people may not familiar that, so it's quite difficult. But you ask these questions, profound questions, and then other people listen, and even it benefit me. So that's where I trust a lot. So that means your questions are profound teachings. So we have been doing kind of this way, and today I think so. And then now we dedicate our merit. Okay, please you dedicate all merit that you received empowerment, and your bodhicitta, and 3 times of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas merit you bring together in your mind. Dedicate means now sincerely you share, you give to other beings. Chanjo zenjo rinpoche ma je pa na je 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 ba nyam ba me ba ya gone gone be wa sho.
Thank you, Khenpo Tenzin. Thank you, everyone joining on the Zoom and in person. Everybody, please stand by. We just need about few minutes to switch over the live streams and start the Dharma discussion group at 3.